Hi, my name is Derek Bourne. Welcome to the Red Fred Couch yet again. I am an applied neuroscientist at Coconino High School, by which I mean that my job is to reach into kids' brains and change their neurons so they learn. I'm here to talk about Project Rocket, and I'm really excited about this. Um, Doug Ducey did mention this in his State of the State address, but he didn't say what it was and how it worked, and so I didn't put it in my rebuttal if you saw that video, because there wasn't much to say. It sounded kind of like a cool idea, but anyway, Monday, supposedly, the legislation is going to be dropped. I've been able to read it. We can see what it is, and it is a great opportunity. Now, what I want to do here, real quick, is we have to walk and chew gum as educators every day. We have to keep a lot of things in mind. And the relevance here is we have to keep that big picture in mind of how underfunded our schools are while still acknowledging a good thing when we see it. I mean, obviously, we're going to stay focused on our kids and their needs, and I think Project Rocket does that in a phenomenal way. It is only $43 million before I explain what the program is. But it's significant, and I think it will be a game changer for some of our students that need the most help. But I say only 43 million because obviously we know, we've suffered $2.7 billion in cuts to capital over the last several years. We are maybe 800 million short of the 2008 funding levels. We are billions shy of, funding schools at the national average. So this is a small piece, but I think it's important. Okay, so let's get to it. Project Rocket. If you're a district or a charter school and you have a C letter grade from the state, which of course mostly determined by your ranking on the academic outcomes, test data and stuff, you would qualify for the funding only if 60% or more of your students qualify for free and reduced lunch. So they're acknowledging that poverty makes a difference, and that if you're a C school with higher socioeconomic status, you perhaps your students basically have more advantages at home and so forth, and maybe the idea is you should be able to figure more of it out because your kids are already coming to you with higher reading levels and other advantages that go with that. If you're a D school, you qualify no matter what. And then if you're an F school, you qualify no matter what. And all three of those tiers would get $150 per student at that entire school. You get a quarter of the money up front, the rest after approval by the State Board of Education of a school improvement plan targeted toward academic achievement and closing those gaps. So here's what the plan can include. And I think I think most teachers would agree these are all really amazing and potentially powerful things. Academic intervention, you can just straight up use the money to pay for that. Class size reduction, awesome. Professional development, adaptive technology, and I love this, giving that local control and the ability to have input by practitioners. Quote, any evidence-based proven strategies to close the achievement gap. So, this is acknowledging that the state board will have wide latitude to approve anything that looks like it might work. The plan must also identify a mentor who can assist each school with their academic achievement by providing regular check-ins. I mean, the idea here is we don't just want to throw money at the problem. That's generally a conservative talking point, but sometimes there is validity in saying, let's really check in with this and try to use strategies that have been proven to work, and thus get a qualified person to help give input. And to be a mentor, to be approved to help with this process, you have to be approved by the state board and show qualifications that you've helped schools turn around their academic achievement. You've helped consult with principals and teachers and these kinds of things. So it, to me, looks like a very valid program. Now, to put this in perspective, what's $150 per kid really look like? So if you're a high school with about 1,000 kids, which might even be on the smaller side these days, right? But depending where you live, rural is different and so forth. Anyway, 1,000 kids, if you qualify, you're going to get $150,000. That's pretty serious money at a school of 1,000 kids, or yeah, at a school of 1,000 kids. You could hire, 2 to 3 full-time people to be your interventionists, to train people, or whatever tasks that you set up in your plan for your school. And I love that the school's in control here. Or if you're an elementary with just 350 students, that still would provide you $52,000. And you have to imagine most districts with, one school that might qualify will probably have multiple, and the district could, do some creative things to get some of those resources from the general budget in to help schools that didn't generate quite enough money on their own to do something really game changing. Now, here's another thing I love about this. Because we know that poverty correlates with race, and both race and poverty correlate with academic achievement gaps, this is a bill that will have serious implications for racial and social justice in this state. Kids who really need help and aren't getting the right supports at home and so forth are going to get much more of them than they did before, and I do absolutely applaud Governor Ducey for having enough vision to bring forward a plan that would look pretty alien in most states with a Republican governor. One other thing just about the details. Each school that qualifies would form a Project Rocket committee with a board member, a superintendent, a school principal, a teacher from the school, and a parent as well. So we kind of have all the core constituencies represented. They are the ones that then write and submit the improvement plan to meet the criteria. And if this becomes law, which again, Monday it's being heard in committee, it'll be effective the next 3 years. It's a pilot program. And so 5 months from now in July, schools across the state would be submitting their applications to get their plans for next year approved. So the last thing is just action. What can we do? We really need to get behind this, in my opinion. It's HB 2762, House Bill 2762. So if you're signed up for the Request to Speak system, RTS, please jump on there and put a message of support. Mention that you're an educator, and or of course just simply email your legislators, because it takes time to sign up for Request to Speak. So if you're not ready to go, don't let that be an excuse. Please find who your legislators are and express your support for this. Talk about the kind of effects it might have on your students or students across the state. All right, thanks for watching and have a beautiful week.